What's up everybody, it's KB the Dragon, and today we're going to go over another exotic introduced in Beyond Light. Today we're going to go over the exotic gauntlets, Athrys' Embrace. And these gauntlets took me by surprise. When they were announced, I was highly disappointed. At first they seemed like such a gimmick, but after playing with them for a bit I've grown to really enjoy using them. So let's dive in and see why they're so fun and powerful to use. But first, let's go over how to obtain the gauntlets. To get Athrys to drop, you have to complete a legendary lost sector, while gauntlets are the reward for completing it solo. With that out of the way, let's go over the exotic perk. The perk is called Skitter and Stinger. Weighted Knife gains a second bounce, and rapid precision hits with your weapon grant Weighted Knife a significant damage bonus and the ability to stagger unshielded combatants for a short time. So let's break this perk down. The second bounce is simple enough, you just get a second one. It's also the weakest part of this perk by far, although I swear it snags some crazy kills when you have the damage buff active. Now the buff is the best part of this perk. To activate the damage buff, I found that you need between 3 to 5 rapid precision hits to activate it. It's really inconsistent, but it won't be no more than 5 rapid precision hits. Also, it's a small detail, but in PvE, shooting enemies that have energy shields won't count as precision hits at all till you break the shield. But once you get the buff, you get a 10-second window of super weighted knife. As long as that buff is active, you will turn your knife into the strongest and most versatile melee ability in the game. The only exotic perk that comes close are the Liar's Handshake or the Peregrine Greaves. As far as damage, the super knife deals 423 precision and 282 body damage to guardians not in their super. Guardians in their super will receive 208 precision damage and 139 body damage. That means that your knife can headshot most supers in the game, and it gives you a tool to shut down supers if you're willing to roll the dice, because it's really hard to hit Roman supers, especially with a knife. You can also increase the timer on the super weighted knife by 5 seconds for each precision hit while the buff is active. With this method, you can max out with 30 seconds of the buff, which is an eternity to have such a powerful ability at your disposal. Also, if you're quick enough and have a great shot, you can keep the buff active until you truly need it. Even if you miss the throw, the buff will be active till you hit somebody or the timer runs out. But don't worry, if you have Gambler's Dodge equipped, you can easily get the knife back and try again. Lastly, Embrace can stagger unshielded combatants, which basically means you can stop unstoppable champions with just a knife. No need for unstoppable rounds. Now that we broke down the perk, let's see how Athrys performs in PvE. In PvE, Athrys is a gimmick, but it's a real fun gimmick. The unstoppable knife adds a little utility to the hunter in your fire team. It gives them easy access to all champion stunning mechanics, since it turns your knife into an unstoppable knife, so the rest of your loadout can be tailored towards other champion types, like Overload or Barrier. The knife can be insanely clutch when a pissed off ogre is rushing your team down with eye lasers, and you stop him right in his tracks with just a simple knife. Also, with the right setup, you can have access to this tool all the time. The only downside to this is losing out on all the other exotic tools that you could be using, like the crowd control of Orpheus rigs, or the utility damage buff and escape tool that is the Mask of Bakris. Overall, what you gain from Athrys isn't worth what you are losing. It's fun to see the huge damage numbers from just one knife, since it triples your headshot damage in PvE, but you should never bring this exotic into Grandmaster Nightfalls or anything serious PvE wise. But PvP is a slightly different story, so let's check it out. In PvP, Athrys is a powerful choice. The one-shot knife is an extremely powerful tool to have. No one expects to be one hit by a random knife, especially if you can get them around corners. The second bounce can snag some cheap kills, especially in close spaces. The knife keeps its one-shot properties until it stops bouncing, so any random guardian can walk into it falling and die randomly. It even helps in 2v1 situations. You can duel the first opponent, activate the buff, then one-shot the next player instantly. But sadly, there are a couple downsides. Using this exotic locks you into a specific subclass tree and playstyle, which normally wouldn't be bad, but with the current meta leaning heavily towards stasis, it can put you at an extreme disadvantage, especially in trials or comp. You also lose the utility of generic exotics like Stompies or Frosties that work for doing simple things like just sprinting. Also, activating the perk is heavily dependent on your gun skill. Your shot has to be on point, and as you play higher skilled opponents, they give you less opportunities for those rapid precision hits, basically making your gauntlets worthless in a match. Overall, Athrys is a very fun exotic to have, but has many flaws. On the plus side, it gives you access to an extremely powerful knife that can stagger unstoppable champions and one-shot guardians. One-shotting guardians with knives is insanely satisfying. But sadly, activating the perk can be insanely inconsistent. You can try all you can, but sometimes the knife just isn't ready when you need it to be. And compared to other exotics that are more consistent, it just can't really keep up. But even with the drawbacks, Athrys is insanely fun to use. Hit one taps in Crucible, bouncing the knife off walls for just some crazy kills, and just seeing crazy damage numbers from one knife is just legit. It provides a fun playstyle that makes it a blast to use even if it doesn't perform well in in-game activities like Grandmaster Nightfalls or Comp or Trials. And that's Athrys' Embrace. Are these gauntlets worth revisiting Gunslinger again? Tell me what you think in the comments below. Lastly, if you enjoyed the video, consider subscribing for more Destiny content, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.